Okay, today I'm going to change the front brake pad on this 2004 Honda Odyssey EX. What happened is I got a flat tire, and when I changed the flat tire on the front, I realized that the brake pad is wearing down. And so, it's not metal to metal, but, it still got meat on there. But I feel safer if I do it early, okay? So it's pretty much a really simple process. What I do is I walk you through how I change it without resurface a rotor, okay? And then I'm going to take this car out, this van out for a little test drive and show you what noise does it make if the rotor is bad, okay? So if the rotor is bad, it's going to make some weird noise, and hopefully my camera volume can pick that up, so you hear what it feel like, or what it sound like or feel like, and after that, if it need to resurface a rotor, I show you how to take it out and go resurface the rotor and put them back in and test drive it again to see the difference. Okay, so I hope this, I hope you learn how to do this yourself so you can save a lot of money. I'm gonna drain these fluid out, okay? Okay, and the reason for this is, when you compress the piston in so you can put the new brake pad, to put the new brake pad in, what happened is this fluid gonna flow back here, okay? So if you keep topping off your brake fluid, and if you don't drain it out like I did right now, when you compress that piston, this fluid gonna come out and it's gonna overflow this thing, okay? So you don't want that, right? So what I do is I look at that nasty stuff in there. Careful, don't try to spill any. If you spilled it, that's fine. Don't panic. Get a rag and clean it up, okay? So I'm gonna try to take as much as I can out on top here. As you see, I don't drain it all the way out. There's still some fluid in there, okay? So I'm gonna put this back, like so. So what I'm gonna do is, first thing first is, after you put a parking brake, you want to loosen up these slugs, okay? Just lose them. Don't take them all out, okay? Just to lose them on both sides, okay? Okay, so I just placed the jack where the towing bar is at, okay? I think that's a good area for this vehicle, okay? I just placed it right there. I'm gonna lift it up. Okay, so once both wheel is off the floor, I'm gonna put the jack stand on the body frame so I can take the tire out. Okay, and so for this particular car, you look underneath here, you can see this like metal tab like right behind your tire, or under the this is the driver's side, okay? So you're gonna see that the tap right there. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna place this thing, this is my jack stand, on that metal tap, right? Place it right in there, like so. Okay, then I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. Okay, this is the passenger side. So I'm going to do the same on this side. I'm going to try, when I lowered it, I try to get it where it's center, okay? So next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to slowly release the pressure of the jack and to load this this car down. And so the jack stand will hold up the car for me. Okay, so do this very slowly. Slow as you can. Okay, see how, even though I say slow, but the jack is drop it down. Okay, so now what you want to do, you want to check the jack to make sure that that is hold up good that it's on the stand like it's supposed to be, that metal tab. And make sure the jack is not in a way bended. Okay, so both of them is on the tab. So that's pretty good. Once I lower it like that, I usually leave the jack like that. So it's in a way it's support the vehicle. It's a secondary way to support the vehicle. Okay, and now what I'm going to do, so I already got these wheels loose, right? So I'm going to take off all these lug nuts off. This is the easiest way for me to get the tire off. Okay, now when we get to this, the tire should be sliding out like so. Okay, what I do, I put all this lug with the tire like that so I don't lose them. Okay, so this is the driver's side. I'm going to do the same with the passenger side now. Okay, so now I'm going to do the left one first, or the driver's side first. So I'm going to turn it all the way to the left. Okay. Okay, so when I turn the steering wheel all the way to the left, and this is the driver's side, okay, what I do is I expose these two bolts, okay, that I need to take out, okay. Now you just replace a pad, and this bolt and this one down here is the one that you need to take out. But if you're gonna turn the rotor, take the whole rotor out, you're gonna this bolt back here, okay, and then this one on the underside too. So anyway, that way it's easy for you to get access to. And what I do is I think this is a 6-inch C-clamp, okay, and look where I place it. Okay, I place it right in there, in the corner there. Okay, so what I'm do is I'm just compress this piston in, and it should move freely inward. Okay, now if you allow the piston to go all the way out, which is, you know, your brake pad is really worn out, then you might not be able to do this. In that case, man, you know, you have to take your caliper apart and rebuild that, because that piston, when it's come out, you have to replace that ring inside. Okay, but for most part, just normal repair. If the brake is not metal to metal, you'll be able to do this. So basically what you do is you compress this, and because the piston go all the way back into the socket, you know, it just make it easier for you to slide the new brake pad in and out. Now as I compress this, look what happened up here. Okay, see how the brake fluid, the level coming up already, okay, that much. Okay, now if I compress the one on the passenger side, this thing gonna be full. Okay, so if I don't take some brake fluid out, it's gonna overflow. Okay, so that's a purpose. That's a purpose of I'm draining the brake fluid out beforehand. Okay, so once I have that pretty much in there where I can't turn anymore, what I do, I'm going to lose it out. Okay, very easy. You don't have to force anything because this is supposed to be in the old days. I would take a big screwdriver and I pry. Okay, I stuck it in there and I pry, and that's how I'm able to move this caliper in and out. Okay, that's in the old day. Nowadays with C-clamp, it's much easier. Now you can do it ahead like I did like this, or you just loosen these bolts out, and then when you take this out, and then you can compress it if your C-clamp is not big enough to do what I just did. Okay, so the next step I'm going to do is I'm going to take these two bolts out, okay, with the 14mm 1/2 inch. Now when you work under suspension like this, okay, always use a 6-point socket. Okay, number one, it don't strip as much as a 12-point, so keep that in mind. And when you break something with breaker bar, always use a 6-point socket. Okay, so These things is only 20-pound torque, so you know, it should come out really easy. Okay, this one up here, it looks like I have to take a wrench and put it right here to take this out. Okay, so for this bolt right here is a 17mm. Okay, basically I put a wrench in it to hold it, and then I loosen it out on this end. So here is the two bolt. Okay, and now this thing gonna come, it should come right out, right, like so. Okay, I'm temporarily hanging it on there right now. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get a wire, put it on here and hang it up where the strut spring at. Right, so right now what it show is the brake pad. Okay, right there is pretty good, even wear, so that's a good sign. Okay, so I just hang my caliper up by the wire. Okay, like so I can have a clear inspection of this. So I'm gonna clean this area up, and the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take these two slider bolts out. Okay, so it's really simple. You just pull them straight out like so. So as you see, this one here, the grease is it look like it needs some, right? And then on the bottom here, you do the same thing, right? So on the bottom here, I see some you know, new color grease still there, but it looked like it's gonna need new grease. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take carburetor cleaner. I'm gonna spray in here. I'm trying to clean these two holes in here, and clean those, and clean those two bolts, and start put new grease in. Okay. Okay. So after you clean up, this is the top one and this is the bottom one. As you see, the bottom have this black rubber part. Look like I have a rip on there. Okay. After you clean it up, what you want to do, you want to put this rubber piece back. Okay, let's go on like so, and just slide all the way to the where the nut, the flange of the nut is at. Okay, slide all the way in. You want to do this to both, like so. Okay. All right. So next thing you want to do is you want to grease them. So what I do is I take, this is a grease I'm using. Okay, I bought this, number one, they say it's compatible with rubber parts, but it's also high temperature. Okay, I think it say up to 2,000 degrees if I'm not mistaken. So what I'm doing is I just take a little bit and dip it in there like so. Okay, and what I'm doing now is I'm going to put it in the cylinder. Of course, you know, when you clean, you want to make sure the cylinder is dry. Okay, that way when it take in the new grease, easy to slide in and out. Now, as you see how I pull this out and I let it go, it's pulling back. Okay, that's how close the clearance is on these. Okay, you see how easy this thing slide in and out. So basically, you just want to rotate it, and you want to allow this thing the grease to go all the way in there. All right, and then once it's covered, once you feel like it's covered all the bolt, and what you want to do, you slide it all the way in, and you just squeeze that little rubber, you know, to get it over that that bridge right there. So snap in like that. Okay, so you know, this thing gonna slide in and out like so, and that's all you do. So I'm do the same thing with this. This thing have a rubber part, and you know, you don't want to over grease these, because over grease these, it's gonna come out all over this place. Okay, you just want enough to slide it in. Now you can do it, you know, you can take this rubber piece out and lubricate it and put them in. Okay, whatever you want, but me, I like to do it this way. Okay, so basically I put it in and I just rotate it to allow the grease to go all the way around. Okay, if I need to check it, I can always pull out. As you can see, I pull out and then I just shove the rest of the grease back in. like so, and just to make sure it's go all the way around this slider bolt. Okay, now I can. Okay, so once you got it in, okay, so you got to put it over these this flange gap right there. Okay, once you got it in, as you can see, you know, checked it to make sure it's rotating, it's sliding good in and out. Okay, next thing you want to do is you want to remove this brake pad. Okay, so I always start on the outside first because it's easy for me to access it. Okay. Okay, I find it easy for me if I mark them. Okay, take yourself a Sharpie, a mark like 2 color. Okay, up here is silver, and down here is gold. Okay, and so the reason it's important you want to mark this is because that way you know when you take this brake pad out, you know exactly which hardware go where. Okay, so this is what I do. I take it out, and sometimes when you take it out, this hardware will fall out, so pay attention to that. Okay, so when you take it out, now these are original Honda pad. After you remove this out, okay, know how these tabs align, because it's important that you put the new one in the same way. Okay, so this is a brake pad I'm using. Okay, I bought it at AutoZone. Okay, it's got a lifetime warranty on it, and you know, it came with brake pads already, have a liner already put them in, so I don't have to worry about, you know, installing the liner. Of course, when you buy the brake pad from Honda, it's come with the back end. Okay. This one here look like it's already in, but they give you hardware. So the key thing for me is, you know, I do it one at a time. What I do, I take this out like so. Right? I just pull them straight out, and I just lay it down like so. Okay. And what I do, I'm going to clean this area up, and while I finish cleaning it up, I'm going to match the new hardware. Okay. Basically, you just want to find. So it's going to be 2 on top and 2 on the bottom. So you're going to find a hardware that match. Okay. That match. What you just lay down like so. Okay, that piece looks like it's going there. All right, so what you want to do after you clean this area up, and of course you put it in, these held together by clip. Okay, you see this clip up here and down here. Okay, that's what it's held by. So what I normally do is I allow the clip facing the rotor first. Okay, I allow that clip to go in, and it should snap in on this side. Okay? Say you put it in and you like it fit because it's, you know, it's snapped in place like it's supposed to be, like that. Okay, let's say you like that, then you use it. Okay, and then you go to the one on top. It's the same thing, right? You just, because these are, you know, where the clip is holding it, so you just, you know, pull that downward. Okay, and it should come out like so. Okay, and then you just place it on like that, and the top one, it have this curve right here. Okay, so what you do, okay, see how the clip on this side. Okay, so there it is. Okay, that's what it looked like. What you do, you just snap them back in like so, and it should hold like that. When you let it go, it should stay there. Okay, I'm going to show you how easy, the easy way for me to slide this thing in. Okay, so after you lubricate the hardware, the bottom and the top, okay, and of course, you know, on the edge of the brake there, what you want to do is make sure this curve is aligned with the rotor when you put them in. Okay, it's kind of like curved like that. What you want to do is put the bottom one, slide the bottom one in first, like so. Okay, slide in the track, and then guide it toward the upper one. See where that rear tap right there on the rear. Okay, so what you want to do is on the top one, that rear tap, just push the brake pad toward that tap right there, like so. Okay, you just push, lightly push, and you just slide this in like that. Okay, see how easy that is? Okay, now let's try it again. Okay, try it again. So when you take it out, you do it in the same way. Okay, so align your pad, slide the bottom one, put the bottom one in first on the track, then on the top one you just guide it around that pin right there. Okay, just guide it around like so, and then when it get to the curve right there, okay, what you want to do, you want to push it. Okay, you want to push it in that way to that quarter curve and just slide it in. Okay, that's the outer one. And that's curve I'm talking about is this one right here. Okay, when it's set up like that, just push it, because that's the only thing that touched the brake pad. Okay, go ahead and do this one. Okay, just take it out, just pull them out. Okay, all right, you see this one, the inner one, it have a little tap down here. Okay, that's a wear indicator. So right there, that's how much I have left before it's gonna alarm me. Okay, but I change it. See this gap up here? See, this is a pad, and that's the indicator. Okay, if you allow this indicator to touch the rotor, then it's going to make a really loud squeak. So to take the old one out, same thing. Okay, this one here, you move it out and you just lay it down like that. Okay, then you find a new one. This is the old one. Okay, here's a new one. Okay, new one. Make sure it's matched. You just, of course, after you clean this area, you just put in a new one. So what I do, I slide the inner one, the one that facing the rotor, the clip that facing the rotor, I just slide that in first, and then on the outside, it should snap in. Okay, this one here, it doesn't snap. So what I do, I'm gonna take it out. Okay, and I'm gonna bend this tab just a little bit. Okay, bend it, because you want this tab to hold on to. There you go. Now it's snapping, and it stay in. It should stay in there, like so. Okay, and then you go on top. Same thing. This is hard one right here because it's hard to see. You know what? I might as well make a good video, right? I'm gonna take this nut off here. Okay, so you can see. Just for the video purpose, because Okay, so you just take the top one off. Like so, okay, and you just laid it down like that, and then you find a new one. Okay, you position, right, you lay on top of it, and you find a new one, position the way that you just put it down, and you just come in with it, and like I say, the clip, this one here, the clip on this side. Okay, that clip right there, and this one right here. Okay, it's the one to hold. So now, I'm still in a position where I can't see, but it's a lot better than when I put that sliding bolt there. Okay, so I hope you can see it through my camera. So I'm gonna fill it inside. I put it in, it snap in like so. Okay, like that. Now you got two new ones. Okay, to put in. Okay, so the same thing as far as the bottom one. Okay, the inner one. The difference is the inner one on the bottom, it have a indicator, wear out indicator. Okay, so you must put the indicator in first. Okay, it's gonna slide right into the track. And what you want to do now is guide that top one, into the track right there. And if you need to push it that way, so it release that curve. But in this case, it looks like it's sliding fine. Okay. See how it's sliding perfectly? Now, if not, then you have to guide it in and allow that brake pad into that curve and push it back. Okay, that time it's come in perfect. Okay, so that's how you install it. Right? So keep in mind, put in the bottom first and guide the top one. Okay, now I put this back. Okay, so after I put the pin in, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grease this, okay, and basically just put a tag on there, okay, and put it around piston cylinder, like so. Okay, that's all. That's all you need. Okay, because this thing gonna ride on the back, and You know, see the old one, how it's got that ring there. Okay, that's all you need to do. If if you don't put grease all the way out here, that's fine. Okay, but the only thing is do it collect dust. Okay, now if you buy a brake pad and like these back can come off, and if you have to put a this quiet, because some brake pad, not all brake pad are the same. Okay, some just like metal backing with no plate. Okay, this one from AutoZone, it already come with a plate back there. So when you put in disc quiet, then you put on the whole thing. Okay, the disc quiet basically it just coat this area so it doesn't have metal to metal contact. Okay, and then you coat that, and then you put this back on like so. Okay, and that coating right there will hold this in place. But like I say, I don't have to do this one because the backing already pretty much built in. Okay, so after I grease and put grease on this piston here and grease my caliper. Okay, so I'm gonna slide this thing back. Okay, excuse my one hand thing, but it's easy with two hands. Okay, one hand, got to use my knee to hold that up, make sure this thing aligns inward. Okay. All right, so the bottom sliding bolt is kind of like stick out a little bit back here, so I have to push it in and line it in. Okay. All right, like so. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these two bolts back. Okay. And I'm going to lift this up with one hand, the other hand finger tight, and put the two bolts back. Okay. Okay, so after I finger tight the two bolts, okay, I'm using a 17mm wrench to hold onto this look like a nut looking thing right there. Okay, and with a I believe this is a 14mm. Okay, I'm just gonna tie this down. Okay, now how tight is this? Torque them down to 20 pounds. Okay, 20 pounds ain't that much, but that's what they call for in the Honda repair manual. Okay, so just follow it. 20 pounds. This bolt and this bolt. Okay, pretty much done on this side. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to the other side and do the same thing. But first thing I'm going to do now, because I'm going to do on the other side, I'm going to turn the steering all the way to the right, so it's going to expose. So I expose these things out so I can work with it. Okay, I'm over the passenger side. Of course, I turn the steering wheel all the way to the right. So what I'm going to do this time, I'm going to, doing the same thing as I did on the passenger side. Okay, and if there are a problem, then I will let you know. But if they're not a problem, same procedure on both sides. Okay. All right. So I finished doing the passenger side. Okay, using the same technique and pretty much the same. Nothing changed. Okay. Now the next thing I'm going to show you how to flush the brake system with the new brake fluid. Right. Because when you do a brake job, as you see. 3 years ago I put it in, but if you look closely to these fluid, it's like two different colors. It's look like it have some water in it. Okay, it look kind of weird. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to flush it out. Now brake fluid is not that expensive. Okay, so I always use the one that described by the manufacturer up here. I think this one is a .3. It says somewhere in there. Okay, so that's what I'm using. Okay, right there it say .3 or 4. Okay, right there. I don't know if you can see it. Okay, but don't go by this. Okay, go by what you're on on your vehicle. Okay, say here .3 or 4. So guess what? I went to AutoZone and I get same thing, right? .3 or 4 brake fluid. So make sure it's compatible. Okay, so what you want to do is when you compress that piston caliper in, your brake piston caliper, right? The fluid gonna come back up here, and that's why I drained it out earlier so it won't overflow this. Now what you want to do is you want to take as much fluid as you can out. Okay, now of course using a drag, put it around so if you happen to spill some, you know, it hit that rag. Because what you're going to do next is you're going to, well, what I'm going to do next, okay, what you do is you just pay attention, and thank you for watching, by the way, but, you know, just kick back and enjoy the show. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this out as much as I can, okay, all the, what I call bath fluid. Okay, notice that it's you know, sometimes it's spilled, but I leave the rag down here so to catch all the fluid. Okay, so that's what you have to do.